All right, here's our evening session using his dinner with Titan. You just saw him perhaps in a previous video to have the collar put on before he gets out of the crate or is allowed to get out of the crate. So what I want to do is to introduce him on top of feeling good about wearing the collar, putting it on, to feeling the stem and feeling good about it. So I have hooked up the sound box so you see or hear when I'm going to hit the button and apply electrical stimulation and make it be paired with something positive. You just found a crumb in my shoe. Great. So you will hear when I hold the button down, and you will see when I'm going to feed. That leads to him thinking about something positive after he gets electrically stimulated. We use very low stimulation. I don't even know if he feels it. It doesn't matter. But my whole purpose of doing this session here is to make him get active on electrical stimulation. There's no behavior required. It's just as simple as that. I tap you in the shoulder and you get fed. So I'm starting on a very low level, which I'm pretty sure that he's not going to feel it. And you'll hear it on the sound box making a noise. What I don't like about this is that the dog, of course, hears, just like you do, the stimulation coming on. So I'm just going to keep it rare to use soundbox and demonstrate to you how we make the dog feel good about electrical stimulation. Like I said, I'm on a very low level. I don't even know if he feels it, but we're going to up the level by 2 little increments as we go. Stimulation stops, followed up by something good. So you want to make sure that you don't hit the button right after he eats, because that could be negatively reflecting on eating the food. So I'm going to have to take a little break, hit the button, and feed him. So I want him to feel good about being tapped in the shoulder. Let's do it one more time. The negative thing about this whole procedure is that now he learns that the tone has something to do with getting fed. So let me crank it up a couple of notches. On a level 4, now I'm on a 6. Take a little break, not to make a connection between feeding and electric. The electric should be connected with feeding and not feeding connected with electric. Let's do a couple times on level 6, and then we're going to go up a couple little levels. The collar has 120, I think, or 100 levels. So I start feeling it at a level 30, and dogs mainly or typically do that too. On level 30, you see their ears perk or turn their head, whatever. But I'm taking the safe route and start on a very low level where I don't care whether or not you feel it. You might not. So the purpose is I tap you in the shoulder, and instead of making it feel bad, I condition you to make it feel actually activating. Okay, I think we're good. Let me just crank it up a couple more levels. So we're going to be on an 8 out of 100 or 120, whatever it is. We never get up there. So again, the whole process should be leading to an active dog as he feels the correction later on, if you want to call it that. Do it again. Okay, I think we're safe by cranking it up to a 10. Was brav. That's a good boy. Yeah. Eventually, by me upping the level, he will feel it, but he will feel it, since I'm doing very small increments, very, very slightly. So let me do one more on 10. The worst part you could encounter during that process is that if you hit the button and the dog all of a sudden refuses to take the treat, so then you really are on a level that depresses behaviors instead of activating them. So let's just go to a level 12. Good boy. Good boy. Stem ends. Positive. Take a break after feeding. Turn it on. Ends. And here is the positive. So, all right. Let's go to a 14. When you train with the electric collar, the main part to me is you don't want to have any shocking or shocked response. Any response on electric collar training that is looking like a freak out will prevent any learning because there's too much stress. Working our way up there. Level 18. Let's see. Good boy. '18 doesn't seem to trigger any drastic response. So as we work our way up in small increments, we'll find the level that is just right. And on top of it, we condition the dog on electrical stimulation once he feels it really to be a positive. Now let's see level 21. We're getting close. I'm watching carefully. And I don't care if he feels it or not. Maybe he does, but he just doesn't show us a physical or visual reaction to the stim. So I'm definitely conditioning the feeling of the stim, the sensation, into a positive. Now let's go to level 25, just to let you know where I'm at. Of course, during that process, if we are successful, the dog will feel it and still kind of be active on the sensation of the stim. So here you see that he is looking, he was looking at the ground, maybe wondering what is going on. But that's exactly the point where I want to chip in and give something positive in result to that stimulation being felt. Let's see it again. Maybe you can see what he's doing. Maybe a little bit. So I say it again, I want the dog to be active onto the tap of on his shoulder. It's like I smack you and I smack you right at the right level of intensity, give you something you really like, and you learn or you're conditioned that the discomfort of me smacking you is promising of reward coming. So let's see. Important thing I want to point out, it's like I'm not reaching for the food and then apply the stim. I apply the stim very first of all, first event, and then the food is coming. So let's see what he's doing. No reaction to the gun. All right. I say it one more time. You don't want to hit the button right after you finished one cycle of the training, meaning you just fed him. It's going to have an end right there, a big break, and then you start a new sequence. Don't go in circles, because you take a chance of the feeding being connected with the electric stimulation instead of the electric stimulation being connected with the food coming. Okay. The reaction we saw, first of all, on that level, might have been because he started feeling it and the sensation made him react by turning his head. And then he got used to it. So let's see, I cranked it up 2 more levels. Very much so. You saw that now he starts feeling it. He's still eating, but now we're at a level where the conditioning of feeling a stim and getting something encouraging is reached. So I'm going to crank it down 1 level. Because the reaction was actually, in my book, quite drastic. So let's see what happens on 2 levels down from there. Tighten. Hey. Coming to me, re-engaging is always rewarding. So let's take a little break after you got the food. And no noticeable reaction to that level, but after I hit the 2 level higher and we had a reaction, I suspect that he feels it right now on that level. So I'm working on the electric stimulation being a positive thing and activating the dog by working that level. Okay, that's it for showing you how we start conditioning not just the wearing of the collar and the appearance, but the sensation of the stimulus of the electric collar in a positive way. I'm going to do it one more time and give him the rest of his food. Follow him and his development on his playlist called Titan. See you in the next one.